Hello, everybody. My name is Graham Elwood, and you are watching the Boom Political Vigilante. Oh, Joe Biden. Remember he made some promises about drilling in the Gulf of Mexico? First of all, he made them during his 2020 campaign speech. No new drilling permits on federal lands. Then, in November of last year, right before the midterm elections, he gave this speech.
I look out at our country and I see how the rest of the world looks at us. They still look at us as that shining hope. They really do look to the United States. We've got to demonstrate who we are. I see a great nation because we're a great people. We just have to remember who we are. We're the United States of America. And there's nothing beyond our capacity if we work together. So vote. Get out the vote now. God bless you all, and may God protect our troops. Thank you, thank you, thank you. No more drilling. There is no more drilling. I haven't formed any new drilling. No, that was before I was president. We're trying to work on that, get that done. Thank you.
Oh, so once again, it's the Republicans' fault. He said no new drilling. Well, maybe we should not be so hard on Joe Biden. Maybe, he just said it. No new drilling, no new drilling. Again, it was a 2020 campaign promise. And then he said it again. This is you see the number in the corner. November 6th or November 4th or whatever it is, right before the election, the midterms we just had, he said no new drilling permits. Well, there was then this just happened. This just happened last Friday. The Biden administration sells oil and gas leases in the Gulf of Mexico. This is from NPR, a pretty liberal organization. Look what they did. Western planning area, central planning area. Fossil fuel energy companies looking to extract oil and natural gas from U.S. waters in the Gulf of Mexico got a boost on Wednesday as they secured access to 1.6 million acres of water offered at auction. There was just a fraction of some 73.3 million acres of federal waters the Interior Department's Bureau of Ocean Management opened up for bidding. Officials spent more than an hour reading aloud the bids for lease sale 259 with some 13,600 blocks of outer continental shelf acreage in the Gulf of Mexico at stake. It's the second time this month that the Biden administration has opened federal territory for new oil drilling after it approved the large controversial Willow project in Alaska on March 13th. So they're just on a hot streak of opening up federal land in Alaska, federal water in the Gulf of Mexico. The oil and gas lease auction was written into a budget deal coming on the heels of the Alaska oil project. The Gulf of Mexico offshore lease sale renewed criticism of President Biden from environmental groups that note that his 2020 campaign promises include climate plan banning new oil and gas permitting on public lands and waters. Let's click this link. This is Joe Biden's plan. Win down the ballot. This is it. The Biden plan for clean energy revolution and environmental justice. This is from Biden's campaign website. Let's watch what Joe Biden said.
My 5 grandchildren challenge expectations. They see breakthroughs in technology we can't even yet imagine. But the only way they're going to get a chance to fill all that potential is if we take drastic action right now to address the climate disaster facing the nation and our world. More severe storms and droughts, rising sea levels, warming temperatures, shrinking snow cover and ice sheets. It's already happening. And science tells us that how we act or fail to act in the next 12 years will determine the very livability of our planet. Yet today, President Trump denies the evidence in front of his own eyes, hides climate science produced by his own administration, and actively works to roll back what progress we've already made. It's reckless, it's irresponsible, and it is unacceptable. So today, I'm announcing my plan for a clean energy revolution. It outlines what we have to do to meet this challenge head on and how we're going to get there. We're going to invest $1.7 trillion in securing our future so that by 2050, the United States will be 100% clean energy economy with net zero emissions. By the end of my first term, we will have an enforcement mechanism in place to make sure we stay on track to get there. We're going to make record-breaking investments in research and development in zero carbon technologies so that America is the engine of the world's clean energy economy, exporting cutting-edge equipment stamped made in the USA to help other nations reduce emissions and mitigate and adapt. This initiative will create more than 10 million new good-paying jobs all across the clean economy in the United States of America. It's an enormous opportunity. Will hold polluters accountable for the damage they've caused, particularly in low-income communities and communities of color, not only due to climate change, but the pollution they are pumping into the air that is breathed and the water that is drunk in those communities. We're not going to forget the workers either. The workers who, through dangerous and backbreaking labor, powered our industrial rise, mined and built our arsenal of democracy, and fueled America's prosperity through the 20th century. They've earned our thanks, our respect, and our support. Finally, we have to bring the world along with us. Global action requires American leadership. But the United States only accounts for 15% of global carbon emissions. The rest of the world has to step up as well. So on day one, I will immediately rejoin the Paris Climate Accord. But that's not sufficient. We need to dramatically accelerate our worldwide effort to meet the intensity of the challenge we face. So I will immediately get to work, leading a diplomatic initiative to get every nation to go beyond their initial commitment, to push our progress further and faster. This is especially true for China, by far the world's largest emitter of carbon. We will not only hold their leaders accountable for reducing carbon output at home in their country, but make sure they stop financing billions of dollars of dirty fossil fuel projects all across Asia. And this will allow us to keep creating good paying jobs right here at home, even as we raise our own standards. America once again will be able to stand proudly on the world stage and challenge every other nation to follow our example and our leadership. For more than 3 decades, I've led in this issue. I wrote one of the...
I can't watch any more of this bullshit. I'm sorry. Let's just go back to here. Banning public gas water. But the administration said it was compelled to open the huge swath of Gulf waters to drilling because of stipulations in the Inflation Reduction Act. Oh, it's always somebody else's fault. The Budget Act coalesced around a deal Democratic leaders reached with their conservative colleague, Senator Joe Manchin of West Virginia. So let's get clear on that. Oh, Joe Manchin gumming up the works. So remember in 2020 when they screamed, vote for any blue, just vote any Democrat? Well, here's someone who's any Democrat, Joe Manchin, who is paid for just hand in glove with the fossil fuel industry. So when you vote for any Democrat, you're going to get Democrats that are actually Republicans. The Republican Party is very upfront when it comes to climate. They deny it. They don't care. They say climate regulation is bad for business. Trump deregulated a bunch of stuff, but then the Democrats feed you this line of crap, this complete nonsense. And then what did they do? What did Joe Biden do? He opened up. He said he wasn't going to do it. He said it in his campaign. In that mealy mouth video I was showing you that just made my eyes numb. And then, they always blame it. Oh, the Republicans made us do this thing. How, Joe? Then Joe Manchin, if Joe Manchin is such a gumming up the work, the Democratic Party should say you're out and kick him out of the Democratic Party. If they really were like, you're not a Democrat, you're done. Don't give me this wide tent stuff. If they truly were about the environment like they claim to be, they would be like, you're out, you're done, you're gone, you're not in the party. It's the climate or you're done. The Republican Party allows flat out climate change denial, which is a form of psychosis. And the Democrats give you lies, flat out lies. We're going to protect the environment. And then they don't. They don't. Again, this is an article in NPR. Okay. The law mandated the lease sale 259 be held no later than March 30. the BOEM said, it adds that sanctions of the Inflation Reduction Act also bar Interior Secretary Deb Haaland from issuing a lease for offshore wind until her agency holds an offshore oil and gas lease sale with at least 60 million. So they had to listen to this deal that they made. And this again just shows you how weak the Democrats are. This is the deal that they negotiated. This is the deal that they negotiated this deal. Well, we can't get anything done because of the obstructionist Republicans. You guys do nothing. So you can't offer any offshore wind until they hold a oil and gas lease sale. In the sale, companies including Chevron and ExxonMobil lead the way with dozens of bids. Many of the blocks attracted only single offers. Bids range from as low as $750 up to millions of dollars. The sale generated $263.8 million in high bids for 313 blocks of waters. The Bureau said it has taken potential impacts on marine. Oh, shut up. Don't give me your blah, 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 blah. And then, oh, look at this article. This is the Center for Biological Diversity. Biden administration, oil and gas drilling approvals outpace Trump's massive fossil fuel expansion undermines U.S. climate commitments. This is the beginning of this year, January 20. This is before Alaska and the Gulf of Mexico. Let me just show you this. It's unreal. So NPR and the Center for Biodiversity in January of 2023 said Biden was already outpacing. It's always somebody else's fault. It's always somebody else's fault in the Democratic Party. Isn't that fascinating? Isn't that fascinating? So this is Joe Biden. This is building back better. This is making the environment better for all of us. Oh, it's the Democrats' fault. It's always some little crybaby excuse. When the Republicans have even that much power, they jam through every possible bill they can. And then the Democrats get power and go, well, what are we going to do? How are we going to do it? Well, it's too hard. The Republicans, Joe Manchin's causing problems. Hey, everybody, thanks for watching. We are still in our ninth month of demonetization from YouTube. So support what we're doing at patreon.com/Graham Elwood or rockfin.com/Graham Elwood, which is a blockchain cryptocurrency platform. It's free to sign up, and there's a premium level at $10 a month. And for that, you get everybody on the platform's premium content. Myself, Lee Camp, Ron Placone, Jimmy Dore, Whitney Webb, Kim Iverson, Abby Martin, and many, many others. You can also support what we're doing at Venmo at Graham-Elwood and go to GrahamElwood.com. We have a PayPal button and a PO box. I also have crypto wallets, which are all in the show notes. Thanks for supporting what we do.